So in the last class we have discussed some concentration terms. So out of these concentration terms, some are depend on temperature and some does not depend on temperature. So the concentration terms which depend on temperature are: number one, molarity, volume percentage, mass by volume percentage, because in these terms they contain volume terms. So, and then coming to the concentration terms which are independent of temperature, they are molality, mole fraction, mass percentage and ppm, because these units do not contain, or these terms do not contain volume terms. So you will be asked in the examination, name the concentration terms which depend on temperature and which does not depend on temperature. So you have to make note of these things. So now let us discuss solubility of solids in liquids. What is solubility? So first of all we will know what is solubility. What is solubility? It is the amount of solute dissolved in a given amount of solvent at a particular temperature. So the amount of solute dissolved in a given amount of solvent at a particular temperature, the amount of solute dissolved in 100 gram of solvent, 100 gram of solvent to form a saturated solution at a particular temperature is called solubility. So now let us study the solubility of solids in liquids. Solubility of solids in liquids. So when a solid solute is dissolved in a liquid solvent, we will get a solution of solids in liquids. For example, when sugar is dissolved in water, you will get solution of sugar in water, that is the solution of solids in liquids. Then coming to the factors which influence the solubility of solids in liquids. The factors which influence solubility of solids in liquids are: number one, nature of the solute. Here the solute is the solid, and nature of the solvent. Here the solvent is the liquid. And the second factor is the temperature. And the third factor is pressure. So you will be asked in the examination, name the factors which influences solubility of solids in liquids. You have to mention these factors. So the factors which influence the solubility of solids in liquids are nature of the solute and nature of the solvent, temperature and pressure. Now, how the nature of solute and nature of solvent influences on solubility. For example, polar solutes like NaCl, KCl, sugar, etc. are soluble in polar solvents like water. Polar solvents like water. So what is the meaning of polar solutes and polar solvents? Substances which contain polar covalent bonds or ionic bonds are called polar solutes. polar solutes and polar solvents. For example, potassium chloride is a polar solute, sodium chloride is a polar solute because they contain ionic bonds, and also the compounds which contain polar covalent bonds are also called as polar solutes. So, polar solutes are more soluble in polar solvents. Similarly, non-polar solutes like iodine is soluble in non-polar solvents. Non-polar solvents like carbon disulfide, benzene, carbon tetrachloride, etc. So that means we can conclude that like dissolves like. That means polar solutes are soluble in polar solvents, non-polar solutes are soluble in non-polar solvents. That means like dissolves like. So this is how the nature of solute and nature of solvent influences solubility. The second factor is temperature. So what is the effect of temperature on solubility of solids in liquids? So now we will understand solubility is either an endothermic process or an exothermic process. Solubility is either an endothermic process or exothermic process. What is the meaning of this one? When some solutes like ammonium nitrate, this is water. When ammonium nitrate or sodium nitrate are dissolved in water, what happens? The temperature decreases and the beaker becomes cool. Such processes are called endothermic processes. On the other hand, when sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water, what happens? Heat will be liberated and the beaker becomes warm. So such processes are called exothermic processes. So I mean solubility is either an endothermic process or an exothermic process. In endothermic process, heat will be absorbed. In exothermic process, heat will be liberated. So coming to the effect of temperature, increase of temperature increases solubility in case of endothermic processes. If solubility is an endothermic process, increase of temperature increases solubility. In case of exothermic process, increase of temperature decreases solubility. So if temperature is increased, what happens? Solubility decreases in case of exothermic processes. So coming to these examples, when temperature is increased, solubility of ammonium nitrate or sodium nitrate increases because it is an endothermic process. In case of solubility of sodium hydroxide in water, if temperature is increased, solubility of sodium hydroxide decreases because it is an exothermic process. Coming to the last factor which influences solubility is pressure. So in case of solubility of solids in liquids, pressure has no effect. Because both solids and liquids are less compressible. Solids and liquids are less compressible. So these are the effect of. Now let us discuss the solubility of gases in liquids. Coming to the solubility of gases in liquids, for example, oxygen is dissolved in lake water, river water as well as sea water. So this dissolved oxygen is very useful in the breathing of aquatic animals. Similarly, carbon dioxide is dissolved in soft drinks as well as in soda water. So these solutions are called solutions of gases in liquids. Coming to the factors which influence solubility of gases in liquids. Here also three factors influences solubility of gases in liquids, namely number one, nature of the solute. Here the solute is the gas and nature of the solvent. Here the solvent is the liquid. So the first factor is nature of the solute or the gas and nature of the solvent and the liquid. The second factor is temperature and third factor is again pressure. So these are the three factors which influences the effect of solubility of gases in liquids. First we will discuss how the nature of solute and nature of solvent, namely nature of gas and nature of the liquid, influences solubility. So here also like dissolves like concept is adopted. That means polar gases like hydrogen chloride, carbon dioxide, ammonia gases are soluble in polar solvents like water. Polar solvents like water, and non-polar gases like nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, etc. are less soluble in polar solvents like water. So why hydrogen chloride, carbon dioxide, ammonia are more soluble in water? Because both these gases as well as the solvents are polar in nature, whereas these gases like nitrogen, oxygen and hydrogen are non-polar, and therefore they are less soluble in water because water is a polar solvent. Coming to the effect of the next factor, that is temperature. Effect of temperature. So this is also important. What is the effect of temperature on solubility of gases? So what is the effect of temperature on solubility of a gas? Say for example, this is water. Suppose here this is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is there. If I want to soluble or dissolve carbon dioxide in water, what are the factors which influence? Number one, temperature. So how the temperature influence solubility of carbon dioxide in water? So when temperature is increased, the solubility of gas in a liquid decreases. First we will understand. When temperature is increased, solubility of a gas in a liquid decreases. This is because of two reasons. Solubility of gases decreases in liquids when temperature is increased because of two reasons. Number one, solubility of a gas in a liquid is an exothermic process. That means when a gas is dissolved in a liquid, what happens? Heat is liberated. So therefore, according to Le-Chatelier's principle, the process which nullifies the effect of temperature is favorable. That means when temperature is increased, solubility decreases according to Le-Chatelier's principle. That means when temperature is increased, solubility decreases, and vice versa. When temperature is decreased, solubility increases. So this is the effect of temperature. When temperature is increased, solubility of a gas decreases. This is according to Le-Chatelier's principle. That is why, so which water contains more amount of oxygen? Either cold water or warm water. Cold water contains more amount of dissolved oxygen than warm water. Therefore, aquatic animals prefer or favorable in cold water. They like cold water rather than warm water because cold water contains more amount of dissolved oxygen. So then coming to another factor, that is solubility of a gas in liquid decreases because of two reasons. First reason is it is an exothermic reaction. Second reason, when temperature is increased, kinetic energy of gas molecules increases, and hence the dissolved gaseous molecules in the solution comes out. Therefore, again the solubility decreases. So when temperature is increased, kinetic energy of the molecules increases. Therefore, dissolved gas molecules will come out from the solution. As a result, the solubility decreases. The last effect is effect of temperature, pressure on solubility of gas in liquids. So generally, when pressure is increased, when pressure of a gas is increased, its solubility in a liquid increases. That's why to increase the solubility of carbon dioxide in soft drinks, carbon dioxide is filled in the bottle under pressure and the bottles are sealed to increase the solubility of carbon dioxide. The quantitative relationship between the pressure of the gas and the solubility is given by Henry's law. So Henry's law can be stated in two ways. So statement, these are all very important. Statement number one, solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas on the liquid at constant temperature. So this is first statement, that is, for example, this is water and this is carbon dioxide. So if I want to increase the solubility of carbon dioxide in water, what we have to do? We have to increase the pressure of the carbon dioxide. If pressure is increased, pressure of the gas over the liquid is increased, the solubility of carbon dioxide in water increases. So this is first statement. Second statement, so when the pressure increases, the solubility of carbon dioxide in water increases. As a result, the concentration of carbon dioxide in water increases. That concentration is nothing but solubility, and that concentration may be expressed in terms of mole fraction. That means the pressure of a gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of the gas. That is the second statement. So what is the second statement? Partial pressure of a gas over the solution. Partial pressure of the gas over the solution or above the solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution, is directly proportional to mole fraction of the gas in the solution at constant temperature. So both statements are of same meaning. Then now coming to the mathematical form of Henry's law. Mathematically, Henry's law can be represented as P is directly proportional to X, or P is equal to KH into X. So what is P here? So P equals partial pressure of the gas, and X equals mole fraction of the gas, and KH is equal to Henry's law constant, which depends upon the nature of the gas. So this is the statement of Henry's law, and this is the mathematical representation, that is P is equal to KH into X, where P is partial pressure and X is the mole fraction, and KH is Henry's law constant. So now let us study the significance of KH. What is KH? KH is Henry's law constant, which depends upon the nature of the gases. So what is the significance? If the value of KH is high, the solubility of the gas is low. And vice versa. That is, solubility is inversely proportional to KH. If the value of KH of a gas is high, its solubility is low, and if the value of KH is low, solubility is high. For example, these are very important examples. So for a gas like oxygen and carbon dioxide, what is the value of KH? The value of KH for carbon dioxide is 1.67 kilobar, and the value for oxygen is 47 kilobar. So whose value of KH is high? So here comes solubility. So since the value of KH for carbon dioxide is low, its solubility is high. And since the value of KH is high for oxygen, its solubility is low. So you have to bear in your mind, you will be asked in the examination, KH values will be given and they will ask whose solubility is high. If the KH value is high, solubility is low. If KH value is low, its solubility is high. So another example, so this is at 25 degree centigrade. Similarly, at 20 degree centigrade, let us consider two gases, namely nitrogen and helium. its solubility. So solubility of nitrogen is high in water, solubility of helium is low in water. They will be asked whose KH value is high and whose KH value is low. So since solubility of nitrogen is high, its KH value is low. Since the solubility of helium is low, its KH value is high. So these two examples we have to bear in your mind, and it will be easier to remember the significance of KH. So the value of KH is very important in deciding whether the gas is soluble in that liquid or not. Coming to the graphical representation of Henry's law. Henry's law can be represented as P is equal to KH into X, where P is the partial pressure and X is the mole fraction. If P is plotted against X, so here this is P axis and this one is X, this is mole fraction. If the plot of partial pressure of a gas versus its mole fraction, you will get a straight line passing through the origin, and the slope of this line gives the value of KH. So this is the mathematical representation. Applications of Henry's law. So lastly, let us come to the applications of Henry's law. So this is also important. So in the examination, Henry's law and mathematical representation, significance of KH, and lastly applications of Henry's laws are important. So the first application of Henry's law is to increase the solubility. To increase the solubility of carbon dioxide in soft drinks or in soda water, what happens? The gas is filled in the bottle and sealed under pressure. The bottles are sealed under high pressure of carbon dioxide. So the bottles are filled with, so suppose this is the water and this is carbon dioxide under high pressure, and the bottles are sealed to increase the solubility of carbon dioxide in water. So second application is mountain climbers. Mountain climbers. So at the top of the mountain, what is there? So as we go above the sea level, the atmospheric pressure decreases. So at the top of the mountains, low pressure at high altitude. So mountain climbers at the top of the mountains are suffering from weakness and also lack of proper thinking. This is due to the concentration of oxygen in their blood decreases because of low pressure. As the pressure decreases, solubility of oxygen in the blood decreases. As a result, the person suffer from weakness as well as proper thinking. This condition is called anoxia. So mountain climbers are suffering from anoxia due to the decrease in concentration of oxygen in their blood. As a result, they lose their proper thinking, and they suffer from weaknesses because at higher pressure the solubility of oxygen in their blood decreases. So third application is sea divers. They are also called as scuba divers. Carry oxygen cylinders with them which contain a mixture of helium, nitrogen and oxygen. Helium about 11.7%, nitrogen about 52.7% and oxygen about 32.1%, etc. So, what happens? Sea divers or scuba divers, under the sea there is high pressure. So, if they do not carry oxygen cylinder mixed with helium, what happens? Due to high pressure, the solubility of nitrogen in the blood increases. So, when these persons comes out of the sea, what happens? The pressure decreases. The dissolved nitrogen comes out from their blood in the form of bubbles and it forms a clots in the veins. The dissolved oxygen in the blood comes out in the form of bubbles and it will clot in the form of bubbles. These are called bends. So these bends causes severe pain. Therefore, the scuba divers should carry the oxygen cylinders mixed with helium. If helium is mixed, the percentage of nitrogen in the blood decreases. As a result, the problem of bends goes out. So these are the applications of Henry's law.